Alright, Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wachak, Wadash, and give double honor to our apostles / elders, which are GMS, and blessings and salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth, sincerity, and you men and women that follow the truth, sincerity. Alright, today's lesson is based off a proverb that we were going into. Let's see here. And the proverb is, if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. There's a similar one. I believe it's like, give a kid a hammer, give a small boy a hammer, and he will find that everything he encounters needs pounding. And the whole point to it is that the proverb explains is that with limited tools, single-minded people apply them inappropriately or indiscriminately. You'll get it later. And definition number 2, it says, if a person is familiar with a certain single subject, or has them a certain single instrument, they may have a confirmation bias to believe that it is the answer to involve in everything. And can you get that Ecclesiasticus chapter 8? You know, the scripture says that to everything there's a what? There's a time and a season. Okay?
This is that's true. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 1.
Yeah, 3. Yes, like it.
It says to Ecclesiastes 3 and 1. It says, to everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Yeah, there's a time for everything. Everything don't get the same answer. It's not a cookie cutter. When dealing with the spirit, it's not a cookie cutter way to handle the same situation. And it's not a cookie cutter way to handle different situations. You know what I'm saying? To everything, it's a time and a season to it. It says a time to pluck up, a time to plant, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time to embrace, time to refrain from embracing, such on and so forth. Now, the people that aren't in the spirit, now the spirit is not cookie cutter. You know what I'm saying? Which means basically you'll react to different ways to different things. People say, "Oh, you ain't do that to them," or this isn't. No, it's not the same. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same. So, can you get that envy and strife? Because you got guys that I've seen, not amongst our flock, but nonetheless, Lord's willing, it's not amongst our flock. But you got guys that always want to argue. That's how they got in the truth. That's how they got into always questioning things. You know what I'm saying? Like the apostle said, the Most High opened our minds and then he closed it. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be single-minded toward the truth, but you always are increasing your tools. Okay? You got that, brother?
Yeah. This is James chapter 3 and verse 14. The point is in 16. It says, but if ye have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion in every evil work.
Yeah. Now, what's it? Some get that some preach Christ with contention.
Okay.
You know. Basically, there's a time and place to be contentious, because in the was it Book of Jude? It says we contend for the faith. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, some people make that their moniker.
Okay.
You know, a great case in point is Vengeance of Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? He makes he's a one-trick pony, basically. Everything deserves exposing for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything deserves
Yeah.
controversy. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about that. Because there's different gifts that apply, that are applicable to being a man of the Lord, a prophet of the Lord.
Yeah, because that's not edifying at all, man.
It's edifying to one dimension. You see what I'm saying? It's edifying if somebody needs to be exposed, but the doctrine ain't the premise of that.
This is the book of Philippians, chapter 1, and verse 15. It says, "Some indeed preach Hamashiach, even of envy and strife, and some also of goodwill."
Yeah. That's just like Vince's. That's just like this one guy. He always posting, "Oh yeah, you can deal with Edomites. Now what? Let's debate." Any nigga that always want to debate, man. You know what I'm saying? That's not the premise of the scriptures, man. Scriptures is not something that to be debated, like it's some type of collegiate class or a subject or study subject that ain't nothing but Esau's paradox or Esau's structure, a way of solving things is to argue it, man.
Yeah.
Whoever could come up with the best points and this and that, and you missing the whole point.
And it says, "The one preach Hamashiach of contention, not sincerely, supposing to add affliction to my bonds."
Yeah. So basically, as the guy, I forgot the guy's name, man. I don't think he deserves a recognition. You probably know the guy.
Yeah, I think you talking about.
Yeah, and everything he's posted is always contentious toward, One West or any Israelite camp. But here it is, Esau's doing all this madness. There's all kind of prophecies that are about, like you can sit there and argue about whether a man should pray with his head uncovered or covered, but then you say, "Oh, these niggas ain't kingdom minded," and then this nigga in particular, this nigga irks my nerves, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he's very malicious, but he is, once you grow in this thing, niggas don't, shouldn't be engaged.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he put up showed a little picture of Apple sitting on the side of a fence saying in Normandy or wherever, you know what I'm saying, this is what they do for the poor. You said kingdom minded. You know what I'm saying? How you say kingdom minded? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's not. What's kingdom minded is that we don't need to put apples on the side of the fence to feed the poor. It wouldn't be any poor. That's kingdom minded. You know what I'm saying? But if you read about the kingdom, you'll know that all those type of things will go away. It won't be any more poor people. But it's just the fact that you're trying to introduce this society. You can't see past this society. Basically, you think the kingdom is how America is structured, how the world is structured, just with you ruling. You know what I'm saying? No. Yeah, y'all laws are being enacted and things like that, but there ain't gonna be no poor people, man. To the point that you gotta leave food for people.
Yeah, exactly.
That all the 10 parts is gonna go straight to Israel, man, because everybody's gonna eat. But you just quick to argue. The whole point is you quick to argue and always want to debate. But does the scripture say you swallow a camel and you strain at a gnat, man? You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to have a responsibility to gain knowledge properly. You gain your tools properly to accomplish the goal. As my coach said, my boxing Muay Thai coach, he always say, as far as me in particular, he says, you know what I'm saying, the reason why you're so good because you got a lot of tools in your box. You know what I'm saying? As a fighter, I'm not a one-trick pony to the point that if I'm doing Muay Thai, I'm a puncher, or I'm a kicker, or I'm a clinch guy, or I'm a distance, or I'm a speed. I can do it all. I got more tools. So when you got more tools, you can be more utilized. If you got a lot of you niggas only got hammers, man. You always want to fuss. You always want to fight. You know what I'm saying? Or you always want to love, or you always want to push the commandments on people. And that's the only thing you know. You don't know nothing about mercy. You know what I'm saying? You really don't. You don't have the balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. You don't got the ability to take out a stripped screw. But you always want to bang something in. But you can't fix nothing and take something out. You know? At least have a balance to the action. If you're a forward person, you gotta be open to understanding what a person's saying too, man.
That's right.
You know? If you're wise, you gotta know how to be a fool. You know what I'm saying? Not a fool, but you gotta know how to basically, it says a wise man know when to hold his tongue. You know? You gotta be able to be temperate. You gotta be able to ignite a fire. It's just like fighting. You know what I'm saying? A boxer, to unload a punch to knock somebody out or you hurt somebody, you gotta turn on a switch to say, I really want to hurt this individual. But at the same time, you gotta, with that same thing, you gotta turn around, not with the same thing, as the same person, you gotta turn around and raise a family. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to turn it on and off, man. Even after you fight the person, you gotta know how to, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Show some love like every fighter does, man. Most fighters. But the ones that get emotional, like Khabib, he's just a hammer, man. They call him the mauler. He only knows one way. You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of people that when adversity strikes or when that hammer doesn't work, that's it for them.
Hey, I gotta get this. This is 1 Corinthians, and this is an example of having many tools, man. 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 20. It says, "And to the Jews I became as a Jew, that I might gain the Jews. To them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law. Mm-hmm. To them that are without the law, as without the law, being not without law to the Most High, but under the law to Hamashiach, that I might gain them that are without the law. To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some."
That's the whole goal, is to save some. The process you take to do that is not going to be the same. Hammer, 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 hammer. You just banging on everything, and if the person don't get there, then it's like, well, he wasn't meant to be. He wasn't a nail. No, everybody ain't the same, man. You have to adjust to your person, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit there and just have one method to deal with every single body. Even with brothers, there's not one method to deal with every single brother. Some brothers you pull to the side, some brothers you put out in the open in front of everybody, man. Some brothers you give time and they'll get it themselves. But you got to read spirits, man. You got to have an actual intensive goal to strengthen the flock of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man.
Oh, here we go. It says, "And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you." So, yeah. He was a man of the Lord, but he had to come, like the brother's going into. You can't deal with every situation the same, man.
Yeah, because you might do that for the gospel's sake, man. You're not doing it for yourself anymore. Yeah. It's not about you anymore. It ain't about how you think it should go. It's about, like, when you make this decision, what is it gonna do toward their ministry?
Exactly.
That's what you should be always asking yourself. What is this gonna do toward the ministry? If I act an ass right now, if somebody swing at me, and all I know is the fight on the highways, and I go to fight this person, and then the police comes, me and him get locked up, nobody's on the highway, you know what I'm saying? Satan's goal is accomplished. But it may be a situation that you gotta fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta do right then and there. And you gotta know what it says. You know what I'm saying? We read in Ecclesiastes, measure the time. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be realizing what situation you're in and how to react to it. You know, as a big brother Zaquanya, Zaquanya Ariala always say, you know, and then what? Now that you did this, said this, now what? What is the result of it? You know what I'm saying? Does it bring strength in the fold?
Yeah.
Does it get rid of unwanted fruit? You know, like a scoffer, once they get kicked out of the ministry, the ones that are wicked, they do what? They create this relentless attack on the group that they left.
Yeah.
You know, namely from our experience, it always happens unto us, namely GMS, when they get kicked out, they're relentless to attack us, even to the point of joining forces with somebody that has a different doctrine from them. You know what I'm saying? Because you became a one-trick pony to the point you can't even use proper logic to use different tools.
Yeah.
You know, to sit there and say, hey, you need rebuke because you're doing this. You know, I'm here to edify. No, it's not edify. It's not edifying for you. It's jealousy, man. It's jealousy, it's envy, it's rage. You know? You got something?
Yeah, I had something based on what you were saying earlier. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6 and verse 14. It says, frowardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord.
Yeah, so forwardness is basically, you got gentle, you got forward. Forward means crooked, or it could be just means aggressive. You know what I'm saying? So can you read that again, brother? You got the forward. You got the definition.
Yeah, I got the forward for you. The word forward, the Hebrew word is, let's see, tapa sakah, which says perversity, perverse thing.
Yeah, that's to make
Deceit
something
or
crooked.
fraud.
Yeah.
You know.
So that it goes back to crooked, but it also goes back to basically just being hella aggressive, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say the forward and the gentle. You know what I'm saying? They ain't the person that's crooked. It's just a person that's just aggressive, man. You know, they say what they gotta say, and it may not be fair or anything, but they rule with an iron fist, basically. You know? But then you got the actual forward always trying to set shit up, always scheming, always doing things. So can you read that, brother, again?
Yeah. It says, frowardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord. And no, like if I may, I just want to bring that out really for the word discord.
Yeah,
because
I was about to ask. That's the spirit.
Because when you go into that Hebrew word, it's madawan, which means strife or contention. You know, as the brothers, there's some brothers or some men. I ain't gonna say brothers because there's some men that out there. They're strictly about contention, debate. Let's debate all this and that when it's not about that all the time, man. You know, if a debate comes, if the Most High allows it to happen, cool. But we're not in this thing to debate.
We're not in debating.
We're not.
What's there to debate about the truth? It's just you just say it. You know what I'm saying? You can't deny the truth. Even if you're a scoffer saying the truth, you can't deny it. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's in the right context. You know, if a scoffer say something that's biblical and it's on point, we ain't gonna deny that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the niggas say, oh, you could deal with a bunch of women. Like, yeah, but what's the point? So what? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can deal with Edomite. Why is that something that you want to argue about, man?
Yeah.
You know, why is like there's more important things going on amongst our people, but you're carnal, man. The spirit ain't dealing with you. You know, the spirit ain't dealing with anybody that just want to be that one trick pony, that hammer, man. Because Yahushua wasn't a hammer, man. He was forward. He was merciful. You know, he was aggressive. He was laid back. You know, he fed people. He took cords, cords and nine tails. You know what I'm saying? Turn water into wine. Refrain from doing that. He ate corn on the Sabbath. He prayed. Everything. You got a term called rolling with the punches, man. A lot of niggas don't know how to do that, man. For the process of Yahweh Shai. For the process of the prophecy. You don't know how to roll with the punches and say, okay, now this happened, now I gotta do this. Now this happened, now I gotta do that.
Everything's supposed to be done in season.
Yeah, they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to do that, man.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you know, you're using this shovel and you've been using the shovel, it's been working, and then you run into a spot where, you know, it's hella wet. You know what I'm saying? You know, you've been digging up dirt, then you hit an area in the ground where it turns to mud. And for you to use this shovel, it'll take you forever because the liquid just falls right off of it. You hit this pool of water and you're trying to use a shovel. No, now you got to change your tool.
That's the spirit, bro.
And you can't, and you don't have you don't have the ability to get up and change your tool. You're just hard-headed. I'm going to just keep using this shovel. It got me this far. You know?
Yeah, why do you think with certain tools that you use, they have, like with drills, they have different drill bits for different jobs?
Yeah.
Because you can't use the same drill bit for every. If it's something requires a 4-head screwdriver, I'm just flathead.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm gonna just jam it in there even harder. You got a flathead, and then you trying to put that in the Allen wrench socket, and saying, well, it fits half of it. So if I just jam it in there, it'll work. You strip the fuck out the screw.
Yeah.
You know. And them screws are people, man. Them screws are souls, man. You know, it's a very delicate thing to destroy a soul, man, or to wake up a soul. To sit there and do either or, it's a delicate thing, and it's a job that's only at the hands of people who really care for the flock, man. Not for yourself and your own bellies. What you want, you trying to prove a point.
Hey, yeah, I'm glad that you said that because it had escaped me for a minute. The precept that I brought out with it said for the week I became weak and so on and so forth. You can cause someone to go off by your actions, man, because you want to be a one-trick pony. You know, we're here to edify the flock and be diverse in the spirit. You know, for the right reasons at the right times, because the flock is looking towards men that proclaim to have the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and use it rightfully. So if we claim to hold the name of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and claim to be the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, we have to be diverse in the spirit, man. You have to know when to do certain things because you can cause somebody that's weak-minded to go off, man.
Yeah.
And that blood is going to be on your hands.
There's gifts. There's gifts that the Lord gives us. You got the gifts of teaching, apostleship. You know what that scripture is? The different gifts to give, the gift of teaching, apostleship, but above all, the gift of prophecy. You got a gift of faith.
Oh.
You know, where one excelleth above another. Some brothers have a majority of gifts, and those gifts are nothing but tools, man. You know, like a lot of us, really all of us are soldiers, man, and it's only a select few that are the generals of the ship. Because like the old saying goes, too many chiefs, not enough Indians, man. And the Lord don't operate like that. The Lord will set one man up and he'll set order up underneath it, and then he'll put the spirit on people to follow order. But then you always gonna have that nigga in the background. Man, I can do that. I can do that. You know what? It's initiative. It's a person when you're sitting there saying, and you try to the flathead and say, oh, the flathead ain't gonna work. Let me try the Allen wrench. I got an Allen wrench. I could have did that. But you don't got the initiative to switch your tools.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just realize he had an Allen wrench because you've seen him use it, man. You're just watching. Type of deal, you know?
I believe this is in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 1. It says, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I could remove mountains and have no charity, I am nothing. And though is that what you're looking for?
No. It's,
or the straight up just the gifts in
yeah,
chapter 12?
Covered the gifts of prophecy. And this is it was going over the gifts.
Oh yeah. This 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 4. It says, "Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit, and there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord, and there are diversities of operation, but it is the same power which worketh all in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit."
Yeah, because there's a lot of gifts that the Lord bless us with. You got you go ahead. I don't want to jump the gun on some of them.
And it says, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits, to another diverse kinds of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues.
Yeah, so you got people that speak different languages, people that understand different languages, people that are highly faithful, people that are good teachers. Because just because you know a lot doesn't mean you can teach a lot. You know what I'm saying? You got fighters that are great fighters, but they're horrible coaches. You got people that are just as good as a coach that they are a fighter. You got vice versa. You never really see a successful coach and a successful player. You know what I'm saying? It never matches up all the time, man. Tyronn Lue wasn't no successful player.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr. These were guys that spent more time on the craft and looked at the game, and whatever, they just got their wits up. They wouldn't. Who Steve Kerr play with? Jordan?
With Jordan and Pimpin.
Why Jordan ain't a coach? Akeem Olajuwon.
And Tyronn Lue, I think he played with Kobe.
Yeah, Tyronn Lue, Ed Reed. Ed Reed's a defensive back coach. Yeah. As great as he was as a player, man. The best thing Ray Lewis could do is to be an analyst. I'm pretty sure he'll take a coaching job over anything. But just because you're good at one thing don't mean you're good at everything, man. There's different diverse of gifts. Like I said, you got prophecy, you got faith, you got teaching, you got speaking in tongues, interpreting tongues,
discerning spirits,
discerning the spirits. We all of us are prophets because the scripture said in 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter, it says, the 39th verse, it says, "Wherefore, brethren, covet to prophesy, forbid not to speak with tongues." You know what I'm saying? And it tells us to covet to prophesy. Out of all gifts you can have, you covet the gift of prophecy, man. Basically, if you lean to one thing more than the other, you lean toward prophesying. Basically, when we're doing lessons and doing these things, then it should be prophecy based. Every once in a while, you teach. Every once in, that's why we don't go into, laws and all that all the time, man. Because it's teaching, but that's like we're not really here for that, man. We're covered in the gift of prophecy right now.
It's the time that we're in.
Yeah. It's a time of where prophecies are coming to pass, major prophecies.
Hey, that's why it's the year of Karakma. That's a major prophecy. Continuing on in 1 Corinthians 12 and verse 11, it says, "But all these worketh that one and self same Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will."
Yeah, so every man may, like me personally, I believe that I got the gift of teaching, I got the gift of discerning spirits, and I got the gift of prophecy. You know, every prophet got a gift of prophecy. Anybody that's out there hitting the highways got the gift of prophecy. You know what I'm saying? But you got readers, you got scribes, you got people that are good organizers. You got, you know, and you got the gifts. You got those gifts. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, those gifts are not the only. That's not the end all be all to your journey. You know what I'm saying? What the scripture say? Let's get that. Strive. It says strive for the masteries. You know what I'm saying? But it just says you're supposed to strive lawfully. You're not supposed to be trying to be Boyka on Undisputed. I must be the complete fighter. You know?
Yeah, God. This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2 and verse 5. It says, and if a man also strive for masteries, yet is he not crowned except he strive lawfully.
Yeah, so let's get that word masteries.
The Greek word, let's see, for masteries, look like it's Stephano, Greek 4737, and it says to encircle with a crown, to crown the victor in a contest, to adorn, to honor. That's all it's showing. All it's showing about that's all it's showing.
Yeah. Basically, you're striving to be the best at something. You know what I'm saying? But when you're striving for masteries, you basically it's multiple things to be good at. You know, whether it's from speech, reading. You know, other brothers may not be able to read as other brothers, but you should never sit there and accept your place as a reader. You know what I'm saying? If you got a problem reading, you know what you got to do? You got to read more to become more familiar with the precepts that's being brought out. If you got a problem with seeing things and words go to, doing certain shit, you got to find your way around these obstacles, man. You know?
Yeah, because it said that the Levites, they were the priests, right? But the Lord said that we're going to be a nation of priests. So that's like, oh, well, I ain't no Levites, so I ain't no priest. The Lord says He's going to make us a nation of priests. You know, we're going to be teaching. We're going to be the one. We're going to be lawgivers as well, too, man. You can't hold yourself to one standard in this truth. You got to seek, like the brother always said, you got to seek to grow in this thing, man.
Yeah, you can't be the same guy, bring out the same precepts with the same aggression, getting mad at the same shit.
Yeah, that shows like a
tired of you. I'm supposed to have a fire, but your fire is supposed to travel, man. You know, like you got a hot ass. You in the rain. You're not in the rainforest. You're in California. You got a hot ass fucking this tree up for years, but you don't got the engulfing flame to just take over the whole West Coast. That's a different fire, man. That fire could be 1,000,000 degrees. If it's standing in one spot, it ain't gonna do too much damage. You know?
I wanted to get the etymology for the mastery. And it says from 1200s, mystery or mastery, state or condition of being a master, control, dominance, also superiority, ascendancy, the upper hand, victor in a war or a contest.
Yeah, so you're striving to basically be that nigga. You know what I'm saying? For lack of better words, Salakia. But you're striving to be the man. You know what I'm saying? And if you strive lawfully, then you'll become the man. But it's not about being a man. It's about being really good at what you do.
I got you.
You know?
I got you. It says meaning intellectual command of a topic, art, etc., expert skill.
Yeah, you're skilled in that thing. You supposed to, when you strive for the masters, you're striving to increasing your reading ability, increasing your brotherhood, increasing your anything in all aspects. One is going to excel above another, man. You know, because it's natural to you to do one thing. But don't accept that as okay. Yeah, this is my calling to hold the hell out of these signs. You know. What's that? What's that?
The precept that says, to your experience, add temperance, to this, add that.
Yeah. That patience.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Experience.
Yeah.
You know, but that's more of a progression. Okay. Progression of your journey in this truth. You know what I'm saying? But that's doing that if it's relative toward the subject. Everything deserves that process. You see what I'm saying? If you're increasing in faith, or you're increasing in let's see, going over reading. You're increasing in reading. You got to exercise this. When you exercise it, you get the experience, you get the tribulation, because anything you do, you ain't gonna come out the gate doing it right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand that you're gonna be simple. You're gonna be green.
Hey.
You know, and niggas don't want to be green. Why you gotta talk to me like that? You fucking up. You know.
And through the spirit, through the spirit that you said, that I was watching the Apostle Gabar's video today, and he made a statement on the balance of that. He said it took me a while to find my way in this truth. You know, as far as what the brother mentioned, as far as being more temperate, having more faith, and so on and so forth. And look at the Apostle Gabar. He's putting forth his best foot in his truth, and he's teaching many. And that for him to say that is humbling to us, because we have to be the same way, man. They're showing forth a great example of how we should be. You're not gonna start off as the man in this truth. Or you ain't gonna start off with coming to truth day one and you know all the Daniel breakdowns. You don't. It's not gonna work like that. You have to put in the work, the studying, the footwork. You have to really get into this thing. You know?
Yeah. You just, it's not a competition. You're not competing. You're not teaching to compete. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a term, teach to compete. I want to see if I can look that up real quick. I don't think that's a term.
Teach to compete strategies.
But basically, the term, it's like more of an Urban Dictionary-esque type of deal. But the term teach to compete is basically you're trying to outwit somebody, and that's your whole goal. You're just trying to say, I'm smarter than you. I won. Haha. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man, I just found out about these avocados. Did you know avocados possess fiber? And that's the other nigga. You know what I'm saying? Did you know avocados a natural fat, a good fat cell? And you just like, trying to take the spotlight all the time. And that's what niggas do, man. That's what the guy that the lesson is not the premise is not around it, but he's an influence. Whereas I know something. Let's debate. And it's like, for what, man? Once we finish debating, then what?
Yeah.
Like it's something about the highways, or the scripture says hit the highways is not talking about that. It's talking about something. Look, man, at the end of the day, how did you get the truth? You're getting mad because the apostles are telling you to hit the highways and you don't want to. So you believe in this doctrine that you don't have to. But why wouldn't you want to? You know what I'm saying? There's people that aren't on Facebook and Instagram and all these other social media sites. Before these sites existed, how you think the truth got spread? You know what I'm saying? People went out. People got their hands dirty. It's easy to be a keyboard warrior. And a lot of people, Jake be seeing it, man, because Jake will put a comment on there and nigga respond. He be disrespectful. Avengers. The nigga with the page for Lock Sharp. All these scoffers, man. You know? All they about is envy and strife, man. You know? So when you strive for the mastery, you're supposed to strive lawfully. You should be able to contend for the truth. You should be able to argue with somebody. But that's not the goal. Your goal is to edify. Your goal is to edify. Your goal is to prophesy. Your goal is to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Your goal is to show mercy as you have shown mercy. You know? It's crazy, man. The Lord, I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to prophesy against niggas like that. The Lord is going to smoke you niggas, man. For lack of better words. Really, the Lord ain't dealing with you. The Spirit ain't dealing with you. And you will be exposed. You're already exposed, but you will be, your exposure will be manifested unto the congregation, man. Nobody at this point in time, this thing is spiritual. From Esau, the 2/3 unto the elect, everybody's spirit is rearing toward the process of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And for you to be on some simple shit to think, let's argue Leviticus the 13th chapter. Let's argue that. People like, man, bro, I don't know nothing about no Leviticus, but I sure ain't here to fucking argue. I'm trying to find my way in this thing. You know what I'm saying? And there's people that know about Leviticus and looking at you like, you're arguing that? That's why are you arguing in the first place? You know, the scripture said if a man's a heretic at that first second admonition, reject. You know, if you know something, you ain't gotta argue it. Now if somebody challenge you, then it's different. But you shouldn't be initiating arguments, man. That's a waste of time, man. Like, go get you a woman and do that. And you'll get tired of that shit real fast, man.
I got a precept for you. This is book of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 23. It says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law."
Yeah. You out here debating a little bitty shit, man. When there's bigger things at hand, man, like the RFID chip, man. You know, there's the flock. There's people out here lost as hell, man. That need that word that aren't they aren't on social media sites. Y'all niggas, y'all making this doctrine about hitting the highways, bro. Like, if you sit down and think about that. If I never was a person that hit the highway before, and I don't believe it, and somebody's telling you to do it and saying you should do it, what is the problem with doing it? What is the negative? You know what I'm saying? There's only a positive in that result. If you say you came to this job to make money and they start asking you to work extra hours and you complaining about it, obviously you ain't come to make money. You just come to get by. You know? You just come to exist. Yeah. A bump on the log, man. Oh, uncomfortable ass bump too. You know?
It says, "And have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone."
Yep, judgment, mercy, and faith.
It says, "Ye blind guides, which strain at a net and swallow a camel."
Yep.
You know,
you don't know how to execute proper judgment, man, and mercy. You forgot where you came from. You forgot you would, you know. Like, don't just, it's not one way to get the job done, man. The only one way there is to get the job done is doing it according to the Lord's will.
God.
That is the only one-dimensional thing that you should be focused on. Is like, what is your will, Lord? What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? What is it? How do you want me to get this done? That's the only thing you should be one-dimensional about, is doing it according to fulfilling the Lord's will, man. Just like the Yahushua was one-dimensional on fulfilling the Most High's will, man. You know? You got anything else?
No, that was it to that.
Yeah, so with that being said, man, I hope you brothers are edified, man. I want to give all praises unto
To
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Yahweh
Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachal Kodash,
Kodash.
double honor to our apostles / elders, which are GMS, and blessed salutation to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth and sincerity. Hey, shalom.